For this project, I used to use this as my final for graphic design 1 and 2. So I'm going to show you all of the stuff that I did for the final, but you're not going to have to do nearly the volume of stuff that's here since you only have a week to work on this. But I found that students have really gotten into this one because it's about music. So I came up with this whole like storyline behind stuff. So the idea was you're going to end up creating your own band. Now, this band could be a solo singer, could be a rapper, could be a DJ, could be a group of people, but it shouldn't be a super group. And what I mean by that is you don't want to use any well-known celebrities or musicians or anything like that because it'll take us out of the reality of this project. So I'm looking for something. I've had students in the past just make people up. I've had students in the past choose themselves and friends. So it's totally up to you on what you want to do with that. I just don't want you to use actual famous people. So you're going to end up coming up with this whole band planning sheet that will help you kind of solidify in your own head, who is this band and who would listen to their music and what other bands are they like? So you're going to come up with the name and you're going to fill out this band planning form. That is something you will do. Then the idea was, hey, you're starting out in the garage, so you're going to come up with a logo. And then normally I would have you create a business card, but you're not going to have to do that for this one. But you are going to want to come up with a good logo that's going to represent your band because it would show up on other items. And if you choose to do some of these optional items, that's totally, totally fine. So examples of logos. Examples of band logos. So a wide variety of stuff. Some are super colorful, some aren't. But the majority of these are going to be ones that were made in Illustrator because Illustrator lets you scale larger and smaller. And you'll see why that would be important in a project like this or just in general for any musician or somebody that may end up becoming really big. Then designing business cards. Oh my God, these are so bad. These are so bad. But you're not going to have to do the business card part. And I'll explain more as the end. And then the idea was, all right, cool. So now you're going to throw a free concert. So you're going to be part of this concert venue in Balboa Park. Remember pre-COVID time when we could actually go to concerts? Oh, that makes me sad. But we're going to pretend like we could actually do this. So you're going to create a concert poster. And this is one you have an option to do. So I'll explain more later. But gig, G-I-G, or concert posters are some of the most fun things to design. These could be done in Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, totally up to you on how you want to work this. But most graphic designers love doing concert posters because you've got a ton of freedom. You've got a lot of information you've got to put on there, but you've got a ton of freedom and you can come up with some really interesting, cool effects and you want to make it feel like it would be something that this band would actually make. I'll show you resources later on where you can go to find some of these, but we will be doing a Pinterest board at some point on this if you choose to do the concert flyer. Then the idea was once you've got your band set up, you have to advertise. So you'd be putting it into like some free local magazines, try to get the word out there of who you are. You'd be putting stuff on clothing, especially for concert stuff. You'd add that on there. You'd make stickers, throw those out during concerts, get the word out there. And then the concept was from the free concert, you got discovered. So then you would be signed to a local or a small indie record label and you'd put out an album. So originally I had them do a CD. Now with something like this, I know a lot of times the CDs aren't there. However, even with CDs going a little more out of style, vinyl is really making a huge comeback. So the covers are still really useful. And even so, you'd see this on like an iTunes store, on a Spotify playlist. So you would actually create this. So what I'm looking to have you do is create the CD packaging. Then the storefront, I used to use this as a thing for like an iTunes store. I've been meaning to update it and make it something that was more like a Spotify piece. And then the idea was you'd have a party and you'd have people, you'd make a poster that you would sign to commemorate your album coming out and people would come and party with you and you'd sign it. And then from there, you blew up. You're huge. So now you're going to do a concert ticket, but not one of those bland looking ones that Ticketmaster does, but more of a commemorative one, something that's got a little bit more style to it. Then a billboard, and then Frisbees that you'd throw around, magazine covers, some book, tell-all book after the the band is maybe broken up or had gone through drug rehab or something. And then tour vans, setting this up. This is one of the reasons why you would want to design anything when you do a logo as a vector, because if you were to put this on the side of a car, a van, or heck, if you blew up huge and you were on a plane, you'd want to be able to have this logo giant and still good resolution. So that's why you would do a vector. So with all that being said, you're not going to have to do all of that. That's a lot of stuff to do in a short period of time. But I have a feeling some of you may get pretty excited about it and actually do more than just the bare minimum. But this is what you're doing. For this project, after we've done the planning sheet, you are going to design a logo. It's going to start from doing some sketches. Again, I'm not worried about the quality of the sketches. Then in Illustrator, you'll create a really nice logo for the band. Then you'll pick one of the two of these to do, either the concert poster or the album cover. So once again, a logo and the poster or the album cover. If you want to do both, that's perfectly fine. If you want to choose to do these other optional ones that were there, I've got assignment sheets and resources and templates and different things you can use. Totally just hit me up and I'll be happy to help you with that. But you're going to start with just making the logo and one of these two pieces. Before you do that, you are going to do the Pinterest board. So you want to create a new Pinterest board, call it band. And then you're going to pin the logos that you find on there and you'll record the screencast. On the page here, let me move this over so you can see it. For the Making the Band project, you are going to start first with the Pinterest board. And then when you're ready, you're going to open up this band planning form and download this. This band planning form, you'll be able to actually click inside of here when it's downloaded. And you'll be able to fill it out and save it. And you're going to use this as your guiding background information about the band, fictitious locations of where they live, the members, some possible names. This will help you really, this is your planning sheet to solidify what you are going to do for your band. And then the rest of the stuff is on here. Let me go back. Then you're going to sketch out your logos. Then you'll check out some of the tutorials and inspiration things that I have listed below. And then when you're ready to actually start the logo, you can open up the logo planning sheet. The logo assignment sheet. This logo assignment sheet has all of the details of what you need to do. So it's what are you doing? Here's some strategies and tips. Here's my recommendations for the file sizes. You can skip the naming convention. That's my old school way of doing it. And then you'll do the same thing with choosing either the concert poster or the album cover. And each one of those has more details specifically for what needs to go on the album cover, or sorry, the poster. This is for where you would be playing and the information you need to include on the actual poster if you're choosing to do the poster, or if you're choosing to do, sorry, my screen is all out of whack again. Hit save. So, or the album cover. So a lot of information to absorb, but essentially just for sake of repetition, you're going to start first with Pinterest board. Find at least 15 logos of something that you like, and then you'll record a screencast that's due by Sunday night. Then I would recommend go ahead and start filling out the band planning form and save that. And then you can start the sketching and you can get started, immediately on this. And then you'll choose, after you've done your logo, you'll choose one of these two to complete. And that is the Making Your Band Choose Your Own Design Adventure project.